Tortoise and hare. The hare is an animal that is known to move quickly, while a tortoise is one to move slowly. One day, the hare challenged the tortoise to a race, simply to prove that he was the best. The tortoise agreed the challenge. Once the race began, the hare was easily able to get a lead. Upon realizing that the tortoise is far behind, the overconfident hare decided to take a nap. Meanwhile, the tortoise, who was extremely determined and dedicated to the race, was slowly nearing the finish line. The tortoise won the race, while the hare napped. Most importantly, he did it with humility and without arrogance. Moral of the story: when you work hard and keep going, you can achieve your goals. Slow and steady wins the race. 3 Little Pigs. The 3 pigs all decided to build a house on their own. The first pig built a house of straw because he didn't want to put in a lot of effort and was lazy. The second pig was a little less lazy than the first, and he made a house of sticks. The third pig was hardworking, and he put in lots of effort and built a house of brick and stone. One day a wolf came to attack them. He huffed and puffed and blew the house of straw. He then huffed and puffed and blew the house the sticks. He huffed and puffed at the house of bricks, but eventually was out of breath and left. Moral of the story: don't try to take shortcuts to make things work. Always work hard, and it will pay off. The Lion and the Mouse. A long time ago, in a jungle, there was a lion sleeping under a big tree. A mouse, who lived in the jungle too, started playing with the sleeping lion. The mouse accidentally ran across the lion's nose. This awakened the lion. He held the little mouse in his sharp and strong paws. The little mouse began to tremble, as he knew that the lion was angry and would kill him right there. The mouse said, "Please forgive me this time, and I will never repeat it. I shall never forget your kindness. I may be able to help you one day." The lion was in a good mood that day, and therefore, he set the little mouse free from his paws. Yet he was thinking of how a little mouse could ever help him. A few days later, the mouse suddenly heard the roar of the lion. When he went to see why the lion was roaring, he found out that the lion had been captured and trapped in a net by a hunter. Seeing the lion in such a condition, he immediately started cutting the rope of the net until he freed the lion. The king of the jungle thanked the little mouse. The mouse was happy that he could finally repay her debt for sparing his life once. Since then, the lion and the little mouse became good friends, and they lived happily ever after. A friend in need is a friend indeed. The ant and the grasshopper. The ant and the grasshopper were best friends, with very different personalities. The grasshopper would spend his days sleeping or playing his guitar, while the ant would collect food and build his ant hill. Every now and then, the grasshopper would tell the ant to take a break. However, the ant would refuse and continue to complete his work. Soon winter came, and making the days and nights cold. One day the colony of ants were busy, trying to dry some grains of corn. The grasshopper was so busy singing and sleeping that he didn't have enough food for winter. The grasshopper was extremely weak and hungry, came up to the ants and asked, "Can you please give me a piece of corn?" The ant replied, "We worked hard for this corn all summer while you relaxed. Why should we give it to you?" Grasshopper realized his mistake. Moral of the story: make use of opportunity while you have it. Be wise while counting. One day, the king asked a question to the people. How many crows are there in the city? No one had the answer. One young boy quickly replied, 4,312. King asked how did he know this? Young boy replied,
Send your man out to count the crows. If it is lesser than this number, then some crows are visiting their families elsewhere, and if it is more than this number, then some crows from outside visiting their families here.
King was very happy with the answer, and showered the boy with gifts for his cleverness. Moral of the story: sometimes, you have to learn to think outside of the box. Foolish thief. Once upon a time, a rich merchant was robbed in King's Akbar kingdom. The merchant went to King and asked for help to find the thief. The clever king thought of a plan and gave all the merchant's servants sticks of the same length. He also told them, if they were the thief, their stick will grow by 2 inches. The next day, all the servants gathered. King noticed that one of the servants' sticks was 2 inches shorter than the others. King immediately understood he is thief. On being asked by the merchant on how he identified the there, he replied it's very simple. The thief had cut the stick shorter by 2 inches, as he thought it would grow 2 inches. Moral of the story: the truth will always come out one way or another. So better be truthful from the beginning.